morning, America. I'm currently sitting here waiting for a video visit with Matthew Baker Jr. We're not going to get too much into his case, probably not at all. It's more about, showing you the personal side of him and showing you the person that you've incarcerated illegally, showing you the young man that has grown into a older young man that you're still in his life. You've taken his freedom. You've made him accountable for a crime that no evidence sticks to him, and you still continue to have him sitting there, away from his family, away from the people that are here to help him, away from society, away from being a productive member, getting a job. He wanted to go into the military to defend this country. Is this country defending him right now? What do you think? You're about to see him on the screen. So is the country defending him? The same country that you heard him say that he was finna go out here and put his life on the line for is trying to steal his life. They trying to steal his existence. We're not finna allow that. I'm not. I'm gonna make 100 million videos if I got to, and I'm finna start going to visit him because in 3 days, I'm off probation. I'm off. No longer can the government tell me where I can and can't go, so I'll be going to go visit him, his mom, and everybody else that I'm helping, and make more connections to help more people and then show other people how to help people, because it's not hard, it's simple. It's just about getting information, know-how, sharing, communicating. That's what it's about. The visit's about to start.
Matthew Baker, I've been sitting here for a minute now, 5 years, going on 5.5, I'm really innocent. From the beginning, they knew since the jump, the evidence right there shows that, I'm innocent. It ain't no tricky part of it, ain't no hidden secrets or nothing like that, it's all there. You can see it in the courtroom.
Got a lot of good responses to your video, man, and a lot of people, they like, we support Matthew Baker and we riding with Matthew Baker Jr. You need to be out of there. How you was a person who was willing to fight for this country, but this same country trying to steal your existence. You know what I'm saying? I have looked at all the interviews of, not the interviews, but the court proceedings of you and Jacob Koski. The evidence says that you can't be guilty. It's fucking possible. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, being that it's known, why do we have to go through all these goddamn processes? Because, I see on the news all the time, they steal a brother and they keep him for all these years and then they release him and say, we sorry. But the nigga can barely walk and he's 60. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that. We definitely not letting none of that happen for you. No, nah, hell nah. That's what's not happening. But, we got 2 minutes and some change left. What you want to tell your family? What you want to tell your family? Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to tell you first off that I really appreciate you though, from the heart. Like I appreciate you, because a lot of people that wouldn't want to do this, or risk their, face card going out there, on the limb and you're like, I don't know if he's, innocent truly, or it might be some secrets behind it or whatever, and you believe in me, and I appreciate that for real, because a lot of people that, might look at me and say, yeah, I believe in you, but at the end of the day, they don't.
Exactly. Their actions ain't adding up with their words.
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. Oh, but you was doing what all 18, almost 19-year-old kids was doing. You was hanging out with girls, and you was trying to figure out what you and Brooke was gonna do later on at night. That type of stuff. I know. I appreciate that, Matt. What you want to tell your family, man?
I just want to tell my family that y'all always gonna be the reason I fight harder, and I love them. And ride or die, man.
For sure.
If they was in this position, I would be breaking my back just like they breaking their back for me.
Yes,
and
sir.
I appreciate them for I can't words can't explain how much I appreciate them or you or anybody else that's helping me, Demeter, Kaylin, and none of them.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
I really appreciate that.
Okay. Well, they gonna know it, and we're gonna be a little more careful about things so we don't have shit popping up on the side of the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna set up a couple more interviews, or not interviews. They just gonna be regular visits. I ain't gonna have nothing. I'm gonna set up a couple more here for either tomorrow or the next day. So just be paying attention to the screen because they're gonna be coming. Be paying attention to the mail because you got mail coming as far as books and shit. And then here this morning, I'm gonna have my wife do the Sports Weekly for you, and I'm gonna pay for that right now. That way you have that coming, and then you can spread that amongst the pod too. I already know how it go.
I'm gonna ask the officer. Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask the officer because we used to get magazines, so I'm gonna make sure that I can
make sure, and I'm gonna set up a visit for tomorrow. Okay.
Right.
That
So
way you can tell me. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And other than that, man, we only got 15 seconds, brother. Tell your family you love them, man.
I love y'all. You know, I love all y'all.
And I'll see you tomorrow, brother.
Yeah, I love you too, man.
All right, now. I love you too, brother. All right.
Y'all be careful now.
You too. And as I say at the end of every visit, man, see, this time my emotions didn't overwhelm me. My anger is, and I'm trying to stop from, I have a problem with gritting my teeth when I get upset. So I'm trying to stop from doing that right now. And I have a problem with just being upset. I ain't gonna lie. Especially when I see that you have stolen this young man's freedom. There ain't no way around it. I have really looked at the videos on YouTube. Look them up. Jacob Koski. If you don't know how to spell Jacob, Jacob. Koski is his last name. Capital Kosky, right? And Matthew Baker Jr. You should know how to spell them words too, but if you don't, Matthew Baker, Baker, and Jr. is spelled Jr. or Junior. So with that being said, look up the cases, please. Please pay attention. I am going to start forwarding these things to news media because I did receive some information from Demita Bishop. And she made me aware that I was looking on the sites, but I was looking right past the stuff that I was supposed to be paying attention to. When she gave me the advice and told me exactly what to look for, I started looking for it. It was right in front of me. Most news stations you can go to, there's an upload button, or they want to know what you have seen, and you can upload whatever material you want. So I'm asking everybody that watches this video to the end and from the beginning, because it will be a disclaimer at the beginning too. You're not going to get away with not doing your job. Forward this video. Forward the video. And you don't have to forward it to where a like is given or whatever. Forward it to your local news media. Everybody that's watching this video, remember, Matthew Baker Jr. is a young man that just was asked to get out of a car and go retrieve another young man who he didn't even know. He knew Jacob Koski for all of a few days. And a few days could be 2, 3, 4 days, right? And he didn't know him, He had become acquainted with him. He had seen him prior to, but they were friends? No. Did they associate? No. An acquaintance just means that, you come around each other and, you acquaint with each other. And that means that he could be standing there talking to somebody else and you could be standing there talking to somebody else. And now you're acquaintances. Hey, how you doing? Oh, yeah, that's what you do. Okay, cool. That's what happened. By no shape of the imagination were they friends. Did they go hang out or anything? He was just asked, and he is Matthew Baker Jr. Hey, can you go out and go get him? Okay, no problem. And he did so because Brooke couldn't. Come on, let's keep pointing this out. Brooke couldn't, because the reason why they left the party that they came back to get Jacob Koski at was because Brooke was not liked by the other teenage kids. So they said they had to leave. They left. They got a phone call however long later, and let's correct this. Be very correct. A female got a phone call, which is the person driving the vehicle, and when they arrived at the residence, like I said, Brooke couldn't go. So Matthew was asked to go. Matthew went to go get this young boy. When he went to go get the young boy, he was standing next to a tractor in a tree. Revisit this part now. He says, hey, Jacob, you ready? Jacob says, yes. And then Jacob says, oh, I got to go to the house and grab my bag and get my sister. And Matt was like, okay. And they were already walking away when this was said. So he turns around and walks over to the door. Matthew turns around and sees him go to the door, but doesn't know if he knocks or whatever. So obviously he must have knocked because somebody came to answer the door. While he's standing there, the door opens. He presents a firearm and he commits murder. Matthew takes off running because he ain't got nothing to do with it. Come on now. We're about to let him face a death penalty because another man had mental issues? Get real, y'all.